Welcome back, everyone, to a mic and a ball bench. I'm your host, Isaac, with my co-host, TJ. TJ, say hi to the people.
Hello, people. We have returned.
It's been a while, people.
I am not comatose at
Yes,
this time.
yes. So, to explain our absence for our 5 viewers that watch us every time we post something,
Love you,
TJ
Five.
TJ had a life change. He's working night shift, so he had a lot of sleep schedule issues. Also, there was like 2 holidays where I was unavailable. What was it, Mother's Day and another thing?
I think you came to visit us that one weekend.
Oh yeah, we were with we hung out one weekend, so we couldn't do the podcast. There's Mother's Day one weekend. There's another holiday at some point in our hiatus, our sabbatical that we took.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, you know. I mean, I got to go to work in 4 hours.
Yeah, while I be sleeping, you be working, so that makes it really difficult to work things out. But we are
And I'm not
back.
like a night owl, so it's
Yeah,
kind of weird.
I'm normally
I'm working on being nocturnal, so
yeah.
that's what I like to tell people. I'm part-time nocturnal now.
I normally
Crazy.
stay up like semi late, not super late by any means, but I've been doing some exercise, like we were talking before we started it, and I now go to sleep promptly at like 11 because I just get dead tired.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get home. Well, on the weekends it's different because my shift runs a little long on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'll get home at like 11:30,
Mm-hmm.
no, 12:30 on Saturday, and I'll get home at 11:30 on Sunday. But during the week, I get home at 7:30. No matter what time I get home, I walk in the door, I make a beeline for the bed, and I just pass out.
You did definitely do that while we were there at one point. You came,
Like,
you walked directly by us and just went to sleep, and I was like, you know what? I don't blame him because I do the same thing.
oh man, I am just exhausted
I
by the
some
time I get off work.
Yeah. I sometimes do the same thing at 5:30 p.m. when I get home from work. I go straight to nap.
Yeah, and like it's crazy. So like during the week or my days off, like I transition back into like a normal day schedule. Cause like what am I supposed to do on my day off? Stay up all night? Like I can't do that. That's not feasible.
No, I get that for sure. But
Like I live with
anyways,
another human. I can't just like cause a ruckus playing video games or
you're right.
something because someone else is trying to sleep.
Very true. Anyways, our loyal viewers, we are back. Thank you for waiting. Hopefully we get onto a more regular schedule so that we give you the best content on the internet at a regular time frame. All right, it's time for small talk for the evening. This one's been cooking in my microwave for weeks. Actually, it's not been weeks. It's been like 2 weeks because I just started it. I fell into a rabbit hole, TJ, and
Okay,
I cannot escape it.
a
So
rabbit.
about 2 weeks ago, I was doing my usual nightly YouTube watching before I go to sleep because it's how I
As one
unwind
does,
from the day, as a lot of people
right?
do. And
Yeah.
I got suggested a YouTube video of this guy who was reacting to a video about scammers. TJ, what are your thoughts about scammers?
I mean, anytime you're just like taking money from someone, saying you can do something, being
Mm-hmm.
untruthful,
Yep.
you're being kind of a dick.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah. You shouldn't mess
you're
with other
you're not
people's
you're an
bag.
asshole. No, don't
Get
do
your
that.
own.
Like being an asshole. And if that's your way of getting a bag is by just screwing someone else over,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're just kind of that's a
It's a little
little shitty.
sus, a little
Not gonna lie.
cringe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little
A
cringe.
little cringe. Now,
Love calling things
scammers are
cringe.
bad people.
So
I don't think
funny.
that's a hot take. But what is very funny and maybe a hot take, I don't know yet because I've not told a lot of people about this. Watching videos of people messing with scammers is now my favorite thing to do on the internet. uh,
That is electric. I
yes.
actually love that.
So do you have any friends who, like, if they get scam calls, they will try and intentionally keep the scammer on the line as long as possible?
I have seen it done,
Mm-hmm.
um, but like for long form, no.
Okay. Well, some of these are very, very long form. I have a coworker who, anytime he gets a scam call, like if we're on lunch or on break or something, he will try and stay on the phone with them for the remainder of our break, which is pretty funny. But these guys, some of these videos take it above and beyond. The two I've been watching most, I think it's is it John or it's either John or Jim Browning. I'll put it down in the description when I post this later. And the other one is a guy named Kit Boga, and they both post hilarious videos. So what John does in the video that started this was one of his. He's a hacker actually, and he's got a lot of friends that are hackers. So he'll find ways into these. So they're like fake companies, is how they do it. Well, that's actually not fair. I'll explain it a little bit. They're real companies, but it's kind of like old Italian mafia movies where they've got like a restaurant front and they're like selling drugs out the back.
Okay, it's like a shell company.
Yes,
Almost.
so they have like they do real tech services, so they'll call people who have issues. Well, they don't call them, they receive calls, but in the back of the company, they're doing outgoing calls to try and scam people. So he'll find
Okay.
ways into the system of these companies, and he'll like steal all their information, delete a lot of their information. And one that was the most fun to watch was if you can get so like it's like every other company, they have a phone that's connected to the computer. If you're able to get into that, it's extremely easy to find people's names. Um,
Yeah.
and when they do their calls, they always give a fake name because what they're doing is still illegal. Um, I thought in some countries it was just like completely fair game to try and scam people. It's still illegal. They've just like got it covered up a little bit.
Yeah.
So they have a fake name so they don't get caught. And they'll answer and be like, "Hi, my name's Ryan. How can I help you?" And he'll be like, "Your name's not Ryan. It's Abhijit or whatever their real name is." And they
Just
just
call them on it.
yes, they'll start to freak out. And I expected them to like hang up the phone because it's like, oh, we're in trouble now. But he like made up this really stupid story that he was like a telepath or something. And he was just like knowing their name by the way that they were speaking. And they seemed to kind of buy it, which was hilarious. But he spent like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes messing with these people. And he also, so the whole time he's doing this, he has a program where it makes all of their outgoing calls go to him directly. So they couldn't call anyone but him for like an hour. And he also had this program that he left on after he was done finishing, like he like put it on their computers where they speak. Uh, every time they speak, they sound like Alvin the Chipmunk.
Oh my god.
So he basically destroyed all of their credibility, and they'd have to like get new stuff because it was like on the software. And I don't think they have the know-how in that company to actually fix it because it's a scam company, not an actual
Right.
computer company. So
Oh
that
my god, that's incredible.
yes, and he's got
Incredible.
a couple really good ones, but he's a programmer, he's a hacker, so he's not exactly the funniest or most charismatic person. Um, but Kit Boga, he does something similar, but he's really narrowed it down to like two particular scams that he goes after. Uh,
Yeah.
so it's like banking scams and gift card scams, and they're kind of interchangeable. So what they do is they started out like any other scam. They call you, which if if Microsoft or your bank or I don't know Best Buy ever call you, just assume it's a scam. They're never gonna call you. You'll have to call them.
Right.
But they'll like call people, and their target audience is old ladies and grandpas that don't really understand how the internet works. Uh,
Right. That seems to be the case.
yeah, which makes them even worse people because they're like picking on people that are more susceptible to stuff like this. Um,
Pick on the old folks.
I know it's so
Let
rude.
them be.
It's so rude. So he'll like take their phone calls, and he has a voice changer that makes him sound like their target demographic, either an old lady or an old dude.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, and they'll be like, we accidentally charged you for $200 or whatever it is. Can you pull up your banking account so we can confirm that?" So these old innocent people pull up their banking info, um, and then what they do is they like hide your screen and they transfer some money around to make it look like they accidentally gave you way more than what the refund was supposed to be. So they
Yeah.
always pretend like they added an extra zero, and they also like pull up fake transfer windows, which are so obviously fake. It's just like a notepad that's been color changed, and they say it's the bank server.
Oh gosh.
um, and they'll make you
Oh
type it
dear.
in, and then they'll go in and add an extra zero, and they'll make it out to be your fault. They kind of just go back and forth depending on how they feel the conversation is going. They either make it their fault or your fault, and then they tell
Yeah.
you to wire the money to them. Um, but what he's done is he's got a virtual machine on his computer, which if you're not initiated, that just means his computer is emulating another computer. So they can't access any of his stuff, but he can manipulate what they're seeing. And he's made like a fake Bank of America website that he has complete control over.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he just messes with them like crazy. And what they do is when they change it, they'll hide your screen so you don't see what they're doing, and they'll just go into the HTML and like change your recent transactions to match whatever they just did as a fake refund. So that it all adds up, and it's fairly convincing if you don't know what they're doing. But once you've actually seen it, it's like, yeah, obviously that's fake. But they try to hide
Yeah.
his screen, but he controls everything, so he's just watching them do it.
Oh gosh.
It's like HTML, which is like things like 13-year-olds were doing on MySpace, and this dude's like a professional.
Yeah.
This guy's a professional programmer, and he like hacks people all the time. He So it's literally bringing a knife to a gunfight, and it's hilarious to watch.
Body in the scammers.
Yes, and this dude is a lot more charismatic, and he definitely has taken some improv courses because he keeps people on the lines for like 10 plus hours, and
That's amazing.
just
I love that.
just refuses to
I
let him
just
go.
love that.
And he always makes up some kind of storyline that he follows to keep them on the line. Like he was pretending.
Naturally.
Yes, he was pretending to be a grandma, and he was like, "I can't do the wire. It won't let me wire out of the country." So their backup plan is to tell you to go get gift cards, specifically Amazon gift cards, and then they want you to give them the number on the back of it. They choose wiring and gift cards because those are really hard to track.
Yeah.
So he has also coded a fake Google Play website that behaves exactly the same. And like he'll pretend to go buy gift cards, right? Like one of the storylines
yes.
was he was an old lady going to Lowe's, and he kept buying the wrong thing at Lowe's. Like he he pretended to buy 8 bathtubs or something stupid like that.
Yep.
And then finally, like this one lasted like 20 days. Like he would call this hacker every single day. Because for some reason
gosh.
they were so convinced they were going to get money out of him that they gave him their phone number to call back. So he just kept going, and then finally he was like, "Okay, I actually got the gift cards this time." And then he goes to the fake website, and they're watching this whole thing. And he's like, "Okay, so now what do I do?" And they're like, "Ma'am, just read the numbers off to us, and we'll take care of it from there." And he like
We'll handle it.
he completely ignores them and pretends to redeem the gift cards. It was like $400-$500 gift cards. none of it's real. Like he didn't actually buy any gift cards. It's just the fake website's programmed to automatically say 500 no matter what he types in.
Oh my gosh.
And they start
incredible.
They start losing their minds, like yelling and screaming at him because they're like, we had it. She had the gift cards. All she had to do is give us the numbers, and she ignored us and like just went and did the wrong thing.
She went rogue.
She just went rogue, and they just start flipping out. They're like, "Are you crazy? Are you mad? Are you an idiot?" And he's like, "No, I was just following the instructions on the card." It's
oh my gosh.
It's so funny for anyone that would like to watch this as well, because I think it's hilarious, and also learning how these scams work, just in case you're maybe a little gullible, because I could probably fall for it under the right circumstance. Knowing how they do it, if you know what they're doing, they're literally zero threat. Like they'll never get you if you have even the slightest clue what they're doing.
Right.
And it's good entertainment. I've probably spent 30 minutes to an hour every day watching it.
It says they're like I don't want to say they're modern day Robin Hood because like that would imply that the scammers have like
A noble cause, which they
a
don't.
amount of money.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's
It's
like
kind of funny.
if Robin Hood was he's a modern day Robin Hood. I'd say yeah. Because he never
No, not the scammers. No,
Yeah.
the scammers are jerks.
they
The other hackers that
Yeah.
are getting the scammers.
I mean, they don't.
But this is if Robin Hood was really into memes.
Very true. He does make a lot of meme references that they don't understand, and it's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just like for like an hour a day at work, like towards the end of the day, I just run out of gas at the end. I'm like, okay, I need something to distract me while I do my work, and I'll just watch one of his videos. Well, listen to it because you don't really have to look at the screen.
Right.
It's very funny. I highly recommend. Like I said, I'll leave links down in the description for anyone who's also interested in watching this guy ruin some scumbag's day. It's great. It's really good.
It's entertaining. At
Oh,
the very
yeah.
least.
It's stupidly entertaining. All right, I think that's good for small talk. We shall now move on to today's actual subject. All right, welcome back. Let's explain what we're doing today. So basically, we're on a subreddit, which if you don't know what Reddit is, do you live under a rock? But it is a social
Magical.
media where people can anonymously share stories, comment, all that sort of stuff. And there's subreddits, which are basically specific pages that cover specific topics. And today's, and to keep this PG-13, we're gonna go with the what's the Guardians of the Galaxies. We're gonna say they're a bunch of a-holes.
Bunch of a-holes.
Bunch of a-holes. This subreddit is called "Am I the A-hole?", which is basically people telling a story of a situation they found themselves in, how they reacted, and then the court of public opinion decides if their actions make them an a-hole or not. What I'm going to do...
I am curious. Are we getting a consensus?
Yes, we get
each of these.
We get a consensus.
Okay.
I would like you to not read what it is. It's somewhere in the post because I want you to decide, and I don't want you to be swayed by the court of public opinion. I want you to decide on your own, and then I will tell you what the court of public opinion decided and whether we are in agreement or not.
Okay.
So this will be a dramatic reading that I will do. We're gonna have some
dramatic reading.
We're gonna have some sound effects going. I'm gonna do half of them with no music. I'm just gonna have some fire crackling, like we're all sitting around a campfire while I do this dramatic reading. And then I'm gonna try music. I would like all of you to say in the comments which you prefer. Okay. And there are 4 options on the story. There is you're the a-hole, which is obvious. They're the a-hole. There's not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole, which means what they did was not the wrong thing to do. The other person was in the wrong. There's everyone sucks here, which means both of you... Yes, which is basically everyone here is the a-hole. And then there is...
That's a great option.
There's no a-holes here, which means no one was in the wrong. Everyone was just acting as humans do. There's also a 5th option that won't be used on any of these, which is not enough information. All of these should have enough information for you to make a decision one way or the other. And with those rules stated, where in the heck did my water go? There it is. I'm going to get a drink of water real fast. Really, really fast. No, I got it. Going to wet my whistle for this dramatic reading. I'm going to start our sound effects, and we will jump off for the evening. All right. I'll start with the title. Am I the a-hole for making a dad joke?
Love the title.
Yes. Note, my stepdaughter Madeline was about a year old when I married her mother, Jessica. Madeline's father died before she was born. Madeline is currently 15, and she's rebelling about almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I decided a punishment for her. Then she said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to follow you." Honestly, I got a bit hurt from that, but I understand that she didn't mean it, and that she'd probably change her mind later. I just replied, "I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules." Cringe dad response, but whatever. That happened about 2 days ago.
It's a cringe.
So our family was going grocery shopping when Madeline said, "I'm hungry, I need food." I decided to be extremely cheeky and said, "Hi, hungry, I'm not your dad." My son just started to laugh uncontrollably. My daughter was just quiet and embarrassed, and my wife was berating me to not stoop down to her level. I honestly thought that it was a pretty funny dad joke, and my son agrees. So, am I the a-hole? And then I'm not gonna read the updates and edits and stuff. Do you think that dad was the a-hole
Oh man.
for saying
Oh, yes.
for saying, "Hi, hungry, I'm not your dad"? What is your opinion?
Okay. I think. Okay, this is why I'm a little conflicted on this
Mm-hmm.
because one of my favorite sayings, that I will eventually say a lot on this podcast. You know what they say about situations?
Mm-hmm.
They are situational. No, and you know
I'm
the thing about this situation is I think you need to know a little bit more about the relationship between stepdaughter and father.
Okay.
If the relationship is tied to being cheeky, a little bit bitey, but it's all in love, no one's the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But if the standard for this dad was the straight laced, I'm just going to be a parent
Mm-hmm.
type of deal,
Right.
I'm going to say that was kind of a dick move. And
Yeah.
you did that purely out of spite.
Okay, I'm
because of his first reply, I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come off as jokey or lighthearted, that kind of relationship. So
Right.
I'm gonna say dad was being the a-hole in this
Okay.
specific scenario.
So you're going with you're the a-hole.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going with this one.
Yes.
And I think I logicked that out for my process.
That makes sense. I think one bit of important information here is that he's been married to Madeline's birth mother for 14 years. This isn't a guy who they didn't just get married last year. This isn't a new thing. So Madeline has she may know her birth father, but like her legal guardian has been this man for 14 years. This isn't a new situation.
Right.
The only other, I think, under most circumstances, if it wasn't for paragraph 1 where he's talking about her being, she's been in a mood, she's being a teenager basically. She's going through a phase where she's a little upset about the situation. If it wasn't for that paragraph, I give the dad complete pass on what he said. As long as, Madeline is a not sensitive person, because everyone's different, you got to know where the line is for people. There's friends.
Very important.
I've had friends where nothing is off the table. Like you can make jokes about literally everything, and none of us would get hurt. And I've had friends where you can't really make a joke towards them at all. So you just have, it depends on the situation. It sounds like she's not the type of person where anything is on the table. This definitely seemed too far. I would probably say I'm in agreement with you that I'm leaning slightly towards that dad. I wouldn't say the daughter is an a-hole at all because she's 15. She's allowed to react, however, not allowed to react, but she's going to react differently. He needed to be the adult in the situation, and he definitely wasn't. But the court of public opinion says that everyone sucks here. And I don't know.
I think you can only give stepdaughter so much hate in this scenario because she's a 15-year-old. They've got the angst, They've got the angst. I mean, we all said things that were maybe questionable when we were 15. I
True.
had a step parent. I definitely 100% said some of these things at some point.
Yeah.
You
But
know, and it's like,
you don't mean it when you're
if
15.
yeah. Oh, and looking back on it, I'm like, oh man,
That was a bad thing to say. They were probably sensitive to the subject.
yeah. And it's like, is it a little bit of a jerky move? Yes, but like you're 15. What is
You're
it? Your brain's not even fully developed at that
it's true.
point.
You're not allowed to vote.
Whatever they say.
You can't smoke cigarettes. You can't drink. Like you're gonna make stupid decisions. I'm not gonna go through.
Yeah,
Not gonna go through the whole update, but the update is basically the dad going back to the daughter and being like, "Hey, I know that hurt your feelings. You know I didn't mean that. You are my daughter." Like, so a wholesome update. After the update, I'd say nobody sucks here anymore. Everyone made up and lived happily ever after. So that's good.
in all honesty, I think that's a funny chirp.
That's
I mean,
yeah.
it got a chuckle out of me.
I
I'm
don't
not
want
gonna lie.
to. I don't want to give him the pass just for making a funny joke, but by God, is that a funny joke?
It's funny. It reminds me of the in one of my favorite movies. Have you ever seen Easy A with Emma Stone?
Yes, but it's been forever.
Oh my! There's a funny joke. The family has like an adopted little African American son, and like it's not even a big part of the story. Like he's just kind of there,
Mm-hmm.
and at one point he's like asking the mom and sister like, since I'm adopted, he has a question, but he's like very clearly adopted, and the dad like all dramatically smacks the table and is like, "Oh, who told you?" And it's just so funny.
I like that. That is really
Oh,
good.
I got a little bit of shades of that, but not really because it didn't have anything to do with that. But
Right. It's a good joke. I really enjoyed the joke, and
I thought it was a good chirp. It
if
was a good
I
chirp.
if I knew Madeline, I could maybe give him the all clear, not the bad guy at all. But I think it might have been a touch too far under the situation that was happening. All right, on to the next one. Am I the a-hole for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won despite the anger of my girlfriend?
Ooh, this is gonna be.
Yeah, this
This
one's a
gotta be
little.
spicy.
This one's not quite as funny. It's a little spicy. I
Oh,
recently won.
spicy.
I'll just read it as it says it. We'll screw the PG-13. I'll bleep it out if I really want to. I recently won a you amount of money. I won't say exactly how much, but it's in the millions. It makes me feel funny even typing it. It's enough to change the life of myself and my family. My ex-wife is the mother of my 2 kids. She's an amazing woman and good to the bone. We divorced 6 years ago because I had an affair with my current partner. I was in a low place in my life and I f***ed up. She was in incredible pain, but like a fucking saint. This guy really likes the F word, by the way.
See that? I see that.
It's a good word. She allowed me to still see our kids, who mean the world to me. Allowed our divorce to be as pain-free as possible, despite the fact that I know she was hurting. She still is close with my parents. She's respectful to me, although she refuses to talk to my girlfriend. She was actually the first person I phoned after my mom and pops after I found out I won the lottery. She was pleased for me, joked that I could take the kids on a world-round trip, and that was that. Nothing else. As soon as I won, I knew I wanted to give her a significant amount. I still love her. She's the mother of my babies, and I feel like this is some small, tiny way I can show her that I'm not a complete up. She deserves to know that I care despite my mistakes. She also works a job in the public library, which pays her peanuts. She would actually be able to pursue her hobbies this way, give our kids a better life between us. I haven't discussed this with my ex yet, but I have with my parents who strongly agree and my lawyer who was very surprised but on board. Long story short, when I told my girlfriend, she was livid. This guy cannot type at all. Screaming that I'm disrespecting her, accusing me of still being in love with my ex-wife. I'm not in love with her. We've both grown apart, but of course I still love her for being an excellent co-parenting partner and mother to my kids. My girlfriend is threatening to break up with me, and to be honest, I'm feeling incredibly relieved over the threats. I don't plan on changing my plans, but am I the a-hole?
Absolutely not.
Ugh.
Absolutely not. I don't think so. I don't think he is at all. Because I'm not looking at it in the fact that he's giving that money to the wife. I think of it. I think he's going to give that money to his wife with the intention of it benefiting his children.
Our producer is agreeing with you, but I'm not fully sold.
I just
I would like to explain my
I'm
thoughts.
curious. I'm
Yes,
curious.
it's not because of the action. I think the action is completely fine. It's the way that he keeps saying that he still loves his ex-wife, and the way that he says that he is somewhat relieved by his current girlfriend's threats to leave him. That makes it sound like to me, and that I could be reading between the lines too much, that he's trying to win his ex-wife back by giving her money. And that isn't.
I can see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where you're coming from.
If, like you say, this is just him giving money to the mother of his children, not to his ex-wife for any ulterior motives, then I think that is a good and righteous thing to do, and I would say absolutely not the a-hole. But there's definitely some subtext in what he wrote himself. This is not a third party. This is his own admission. There's some subtext that makes it sound a little like he's trying to get back with his ex-wife and winning her over by having some money, especially when he says this might prove to her that I'm not a complete up. That makes it sound like he's trying to like prove himself and win his position back. Maybe reading too much into it, but I can't say that I'm 100% not in the a-hole camp. I think there may be a little bit of a-hole in there.
Okay, I'd say I agree with you there. I think it's like a 90-10 split for me then.
Yeah.
If I had to put a number to it. 10% if there is an ulterior motive, like it's an interesting way to go about it, my friend.
Yeah.
But 9 if you are just doing this
Stream. I would
for
also,
her and the kids. Good on you.
I would like to say that if the reason for the divorce was different, so it wasn't because he cheated on her, it was just an amicable divorce, they just couldn't see eye to eye, then I'd say I would lean the other way and say 70-30% not the a-hole. But with the reason for the divorce, the way he words it all, the way that he sounds that he's relieved that his girlfriend is trying to leave him, I'd go probably 70-30 the opposite direction, that he's the a-hole. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I read it. I think this one is, of the ones, this is kind of the most up to interpretation, because it's like the action is really good. Like what he's doing is a good thing. It's just the way he describes what he's doing and why he's doing it makes it sound worse.
The way he presents it.
Mm-hmm.
The way he presents it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that one's kind of tough, I would honestly say. This is a good one. Okay, give me a second while this pulls up. Wi-Fi is really slow. Also, didn't mention this before. All of our listeners, tell us why we're wrong in the comments. Just know that you are also incorrect, and that our opinions are valid and yours may not be. Just kidding. All right, hold on. This is gonna take a few more seconds of setup. If I need to cut, I will, but hopefully not. Oh, this may take a few seconds. Jump cut. And we're back. I'm gonna jump right into the story. Am I the a-hole for wearing the joke bikini my friend got me? So it was my birthday a couple months ago. Had a party, got some gifts. My friend Mandy got me a super cute bikini, in quotation marks. I liked it. Said thanks. She had ripped the tags off, but whatever. Anyways, went to the community pool with my roommate, wore bikini, got in the water. Roommate immediately is like, girl? I look and see this bikini is now kinda see-through. Haha, good joke, Mandy. Anyways, Mandy invited me over to her place to hang out with her and her boyfriend and a few others. Most leave, and we're still hanging out. I'm like, hey, what if we get in your hot tub? I go change after them, and meet her boyfriend in the hot tub while she's getting drinks. I hop in. Immediately, he's looking at my chest. I pretend I don't notice and just make small talk. She comes out a few minutes after and just looks in shock. Eventually gets in. Is that the one I bought? Yeah, I love it. I wear it everywhere. Make up some stuff about how I wore it to the beach, some party with lots of guys, etc., etc. And she's just like, oh, we're in the tub for 20, 30 minutes, eventually get out and change. She approached me after and was like, I'm sorry I thought you'd notice, but it goes kind of see-through. I'm like, yeah, I know. Why'd you buy me a ducking see-through bathing suit? She's like, it's a joke. Wait, you knew? So you just spent the last 30 minutes flashing my boyfriend on purpose? I reply, I'm just wearing my birthday gift from her. Anyways, am I the a-hole?
Oh gosh, okay. I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna go with no?
I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna go with
No,
no?
I'm gonna say no. I think I'm gonna go with no. I find it kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is definitely kind of funny.
I think that's a pretty good middle finger on her part.
Oh yeah.
She did. I mean, Mandy bought her the bathing suit.
Yes,
bought it for her. This is a wraparound joke.
Yes,
I mean, got her at the community pool, put it in the memory banks, and was like, "Oh, we're coming back to this," and then did.
This may be useful at some point. Yes,
and I think it's beautifully executed. I think it's a good executed chirp.
Yes, I love it. I love it a lot. I think so. I think I would list these in order here because I don't think anyone here is perfectly innocent. Let's be honest. I think of the three characters that are mentioned here, our main character is definitely the least a-hole of the group. Like, she saw a chance.
I agree.
She saw a chance for petty revenge, was confident enough in herself to pull it off, and I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Mandy is the biggest a-hole, for sure.
I would agree.
The only way it would have been okay if she knew that the next time that the main character was gonna wear this bikini was like just gonna be them and some friends, and they knew that she would find it funny. Okay, if you don't know that and you put someone in the chance to like have public indecency, which is a crime, even if it's that's a huge L. Like, that's not a good thing to do. You're a bad person, and you should feel bad. A person that gets ignored here that producer Anna pointed out is that the boyfriend is also an a-hole here. Also a little bit of an a-hole, but
oh gosh, he's in a tough spot. Like, okay, let me ask you a hypothetical. You and producer.
Yes.
Is it worse if he acknowledges it and is like, "Hey, I can see your breasts"?
That's fair.
Is it better or worse?
Let me ask producer Anna here. Producer Anna, come back to the room, please. Come on, hurry up. Trying to run a show out here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to clap at you. All right, TJ wants to know, what should the boyfriend have done in this situation, which you know the situation? Should he have just ignored it entirely, or should he have said, "Hey, bro, I kind of see your nipples. You might want to..."
Should have said something?
Okay. She says he should have said something or got up and left. I'd like to imagine I'm in this shoes. I'm just leaving the hot tub. Because
that's a tough scene.
I'd have to think of Anna's friends. Of all the friends of hers I know, if I was in this situation and replace the girl with one of her friends, I don't know that I have the wherewithal to say anything to any of them, except for probably Hannah. I'd probably say something because I feel like I know her more than all of Anna's other friends. Yeah. Maybe one or two others, I would be like, "Hey, I think there's something wrong with your bathing suit," and let them figure it out. But any of the other ones besides like two or three of them, I'd probably be like, I have a thing to be at.
No, I can definitely see that.
Yes.
I think the person that posted this, I don't think is the a-hole.
No, I don't think so. I think
Boyfriend, I think, definitely catches some strays,
yeah.
stray haymakers
Yes,
in
yes.
there. But I definitely think Mandy. I think Mandy, just for the fact that she gave someone a see-through bathing suit
Mhm.
that she might have actually worn to the beach,
Yeah.
like in a real and like gotten in trouble,
She deserves
to
to be
not have the
fought.
wherewithal that like someone might bring that thing around town and get her with it
True.
is absurd.
I do love the petty revenge. It's brilliant. It's chef's kiss. I would go. So the court of public opinion said that OP is not the a-hole. Our
Okay.
protagonist is not in the wrong here, which I would agree with for the most part. I'd
Yeah.
say 90% not the a-hole, 10% everyone sucks here, because I'm
I
definitely
agree.
the
I
the
agree.
the most mature thing to do here is to turn the other cheek, say something to Mandy, be like, I did not appreciate your joke, and then everyone moves on with their life. But this is a close second best option.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, let me pull up the next one here. What's the next
All
good
right.
one?
So quick rundown. Me personally, I'm sitting at first. Dad was the a-hole.
Yes, and that was incorrect.
Dude giving money to his wife. Well, I
Was
said was
not the,
not the a-hole.
and I
And then I
think that
said
yeah, you
bathing
said
suit lady was not the
yeah,
a-hole.
and I think the court of public opinion agreed with you with the dad, so you're 2 for 3, doing pretty good.
Which one did I miss? The
The
guy with
first,
the money?
the first one. I think they said everyone sucks here on the first
Oh,
one.
yeah. Yeah. They did.
Yes. All right, let me load up our dramatic music and our dramatic fireplace, and then I will start the next one. I appreciate your patience, all of our lovely, lovely listeners. Uh, the internet sucks sometimes, is what I will say. Hello, loyal listeners of A Mic and a Mall Bench. This is Editor Isaac. There was a bit of a problem with the recording, and our last 2 dramatic readings unfortunately corrupted. So this is the outro. Welcome to the outro. Hope you enjoy it. Let us know down in the comments what you thought. I think the last one had music playing. Let me know if you prefer that, and if we do this again, we'll do music. If you hated it, we won't do music. Let me know if you hated the concept entirely, and we'll never do it again. And also tell us if you think TJ was wrong, if the court of public opinion was wrong. Just let us know. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you hopefully next week.